It's noon here in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and this is, well, CarEdge on the Couch with Zach and Ray right here in my living room. How are you today, handsome?
Doing so well. Happy Thursday to everyone. Got a great run in this morning. We launched a brand new CarEdge.com homepage yesterday, so I'm feeling pretty ecstatic right about now. Today's show is brought to you by us, CarEdge.com. Coming up on 6 years building this thing, me and my dad, and he has gotten more stylish as each year has gone on.
Stylish and fat, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but fat is where it's at.
That is where it's at. All right, so here's the deal, Dad. Today on the show, what we're going to be talking about, car prices have hit record highs, and shoppers are finally refusing to buy, which is leading to some really drastic changes for how these manufacturers are operating. But let's start here, Dad. I'm going to pull it up on the screen for everyone at home. KBB report.
Yes.
New vehicle average transaction price hits record high in September, surges past $50,000 for the first time ever. You and I have been keeping track of average transaction prices, MSRPs, and everything in between when it comes to the car market. We are up over 50 big ones, folks, to get into a new car. That's not average MSRP. That's average transaction price.
I am so glad that I am so far below average. I remember once I was told during a job interview that I was trainable.
Yeah.
And that reminded me of some bad things in grade school. But it is, I purchased the car. And the selling price was $33,000. Well, I leased the car. The selling price, however, was $33,000. I am so far below average, and I feel good.
So, Dad, the chart here shows you new vehicle average transaction prices. So we are at an all-time high, over $50,000, and you can look at the slope of that line, even from all the way over there to the computer right here. You can see the slope of that line is aggressively up. Now, what's interesting here is we just have some news from Jeep, for example. Jeep is one of the brands that was probably like the biggest culprit when it came to jacking up the prices of their vehicles going up market. We're going to dive in a second.
Yes.
The news, however, with Jeep, listen to this. The Grand Wagoneer is going back to its roots. Pricing for the 2026 model year now starts at $62,145 for the 4x2 and $65,145 for the 4x4. That's down from roughly the starting MSRP of $85,000 for the 2025 model year. So that's why we have the title of today's show. Car prices at record highs. They do indeed. And shoppers refuse to buy. If shoppers didn't refuse to buy, in this case, the Grand Wagoneer, there's no reason for Jeep to drop the price by $23,000 year over year. That is an MSRP decrease of $20,000 plus year over year.
That's like 25%, isn't it?
Some might say it's still not enough to move the needle.
I would be in that group that would say that it's still not enough. And in a front wheel drive or rear wheel drive, the 2-wheel drive, that's still $12,000 above average, the average transaction price. So to admit that you were so far off base when it came to pricing your vehicles for the last 4 or 5 years, that you can reduce them by $23,000 and still that's $12,000 above today's average transaction price. You are asking your customers who typically fall into the lower price range as opposed to the higher price range, you're still missing the mark for the vast majority of your customers.
So think about that. Average vehicle transaction price, new car vehicle transaction price, $50,000. Jeep admitting defeat, and they're not the only automaker who are going to have to reduce their MSRPs year over year, admitting defeat into decreasing the price MSRP by 20+%. Year over year, which is absolutely asinine. But let's go to the CarEdge.
Well, here's the real question.
Okay.
Are they going to reimburse the folks that bought any of those POSs at the $85,000 price point?
I don't think that's how that works.
So you're basically saying to your customers who bought them at that price, hey, we screwed you. We screwed you good. We can prove it because we reduced the price 23 grand.
Let's look actually at the CarEdge machine, Dad.
Okay.
I'll read out to you because I know you're a little bit far away. I'm looking for new Jeeps for sale in the Marlton, New Jersey area.
Lovely place, yes.
One of the first ones, we've got a Grand Cherokee, Compass. No, I want to look, obviously, we're talking about the Grand Wagoneer. Let's look at Grand Wagoneers. And the reason I want to look at the Grand Wagoneer is because this is the vehicle who saw its price, MSRP, go down by $20,000+.
Oh, look at the ones on the first page.
And look at, okay, so the first three results here, when you search, and we're doing a nationwide search.
Yeah.
This is in the sorted by nearest.
Yes.
You've got a 2025 Jeep Grand Wagoneer that's got a $109,945 MSRP that's been sitting there for 172 days and has 6,200 miles on it because they're using it as some sort of service loaner. Next to it, you have a 2024. We're not talking about 2025 as we head into 2026. A 2024 with a $106,000 MSRP. And then another 2025 that's been sitting there for 132 days with $101,000 MSRP. So no wonder, Dad, Jeep, again, the news story here is Jeep reducing the MSRPs by over $20,000 on this particular vehicle. But no wonder they're having to do that. They price themselves out of their customers' range, like excessively out of their customers' range.
They've been doing it for years, and they were losing sales and market share for years. And
what happens to these 370 Grand Wagoneers out there right now? Like, obviously, they're not actually worth this price because the MSRP just dropped by 20+%.
They're not worth anywhere near that price. So
even the cheaper ones at 86,000, 87, like they're not worth this much.
Well, I think what it means, if you're the dealer that's sitting on these vehicles,
$116,000.
Yeah, if you're the,
and it's a 2024, 405 days on the market, Dad.
Well, you know how there have been times where I have mentioned that you can go into dealerships and they have the bend over package. Well, this is one of those instances where the manufacturer, Stellantis, is looking at their dealers who have those 2024s and 2025s still in stock and say, ooh, you are going to have to be the one that bends over when you try to sell the. I mean, if a 2026 similarly equipped will be, let's say they reduced it $25,000, so it would be somewhere around 75, 80, maybe $85,000 for a brand new one
instead of 110 like it is today. So think about that.
So that customer is going to say, I don't know, I think I need at least 30, 40% off.
Yeah.
Well, who's going to eat that?
The dealership.
Okay.
Yeah, the dealer's going to be losing that money. It's insane, though, to think that. The only reason why we're seeing these automakers start to make these decisions is because customers have refused to buy them. The Grand Wagoneer is probably like the penultimate example of that, a vehicle that they jacked up the prices so much. And the Jeep brand overall is, I think, the penultimate example of that.
It was an example of hubris on the part of Stellantis to say that we want to go so upscale, okay, that we're going to come out with a new Grand Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer L, which was a sub-brand, didn't even list the name Jeep on it, okay? It was a sub-brand to be sold out of a Jeep dealership. They missed the, shotguns shoot pellets.
Dad, that Grand Wagoneer L, by the way, 2024. Only 11 days on the market. Why? Because they've moved this thing around from dealership to dealership.
It's 6,100 miles. It's a pre-owned car.
$124,000 MSRP.
But
shotgun shoot pellets.
Yeah. My point was going to be that even using a shotgun that just spreads the pellets over, they still miss the target dramatically. So it is. I guess it's no wonder that there have been so many management upheavals at Stellantis and at their North American brands, where they're trying to at least make an attempt to get back in touch with reality.
But I don't think it's just the Stellantis story. This is a broader auto industry story.
The Jeep is.
Oh my gosh, the Jeep, obviously. But today's a day where you have a record-setting high average new car transaction price.
Yes.
And at the same exact time, you have Jeep, who's one of the most egregious, coming out and saying we're going to reduce MSRPs year over year by over 20%.
Yes.
Those two things are correlated, tightly correlated. I think speak volumes to generally what's going on in the auto industry. Now, what's interesting here,
but even with that massive discount,
it's still
so dramatically overpriced. It's frightening.
Well, it speaks to some of the data that we have here, Dad. One piece of information, which is the number of vehicles for sale with average transaction prices over $75,000. We talked about this just the other day. Nearly 10%, 7.5% of all new vehicles sold last month had average transaction prices over $75,000. And you don't have to look that far. One of the things that we provide back on the CarEdge Car Search, if you have CarEdge Pro, is you get the dealer invoice price. So no wonder the manufacturer and the dealers and things like that enjoy selling these vehicles. Typically, there's a lot of margin from invoice to MSRP.
Well, they're supposed to be
on the more expensive vehicles than on like a Kia with maybe a couple $100 of profit built into it. So no wonder they all went up market, but obviously too far. Now, it's interesting to me, Deb.
Yes.
We're anticipating that as more 2026 model year vehicles come onto dealer lots, average transaction prices will go up even more.
Well, because average pricing is going up.
Yeah, MSRPs are going up.
Yes.
But then you do look at this example from Jeep, and maybe that is a little bit of a bright light here, which is there are some vehicles that have been so drastically overpriced for so many years that they will have to dramatically reduce MSRPs.
Yeah, but even with that dramatic reduction in MSRPs, will we see an increase in sales of those vehicles because of that lower price point? I think to some degree.
They're hoping so.
Will it be a dramatic increase? I think they're going to be shocked to find out that it won't be. Okay, that they can look at it and go, oh my God, we reduced the price $23,000, and it still isn't appealing enough, isn't a compelling enough price point for our customers to come back and buy those vehicles. I think that's the part that is going to shock them more than anything. So even if you've taken your vehicles that were egregiously overpriced and now just make them overpriced, I think you're still going to have a tough time selling.
I think you're right. Now, we have new monthly payment data from Cox Automotive as well, so I'll pull that up on the screen for you here. Drum roll, please.
Yes.
The typical payment for a new vehicle has increased 1.9%. We're up to $766. That's the highest monthly payment we've seen in the past 15 months, and it's up 1.2% year over year. The only time we've seen monthly payments higher than this was in December of 2022, when monthly payments averaged $795 for vehicles sold in December. We also have the Vehicle Affordability Index, which is telling you how many weeks of income are needed to purchase the average new light vehicle. And we're ticking back up, Dad, to 37.4 weeks worth of income to buy a new light vehicle. Light vehicle. We're not even factoring in the fact that a lot of people buy trucks and bigger vehicles. This is a light vehicle. So it's taking almost someone's full year's worth of income to buy a damn car.
Yeah, and the good news is that they can't use a year's worth of income to buy it. They have to finance it. And in many cases, they're financing it for 72 or 84 or 96 months, which is just insanity.
Absolute insanity. Got another story I want to turn our attention to, but before we do...
Yes, I need to get a sip,
You grab that coffee, and let's remind everyone, today's show is brought to you by us, me, my dad, and our incredible team behind the scenes. Car sites show you fake prices.
Yes.
We'll get you the real one. I like that. CarEdge is a car buying service that takes care of the research, dealer outreach, and even negotiation. We learn what matters to you, contact dealers, compare real offers, and help you get the best deal without the stress. Folks, if you have not checked out the brand new CarEdge.com, you need to. You can also learn more about our car buying services. Encourage everyone to come meet our team here as well. You can schedule your free consultation with our team too.
Yeah, they've already met you and I.
Yeah, they've met you and I, but we've got an incredible group that we're blessed to work with every day. You can, again, schedule your free consultation to see if it's a good fit. And then CarEdge Pro, Dad, pull in all of our insights and data with our AI negotiator and have a field day here with CarEdge Pro. Folks, brand new CarEdge.com just went out last night, about 9 p.m. It was a long work day for many people on our team, and very grateful for all their efforts. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about today, Dad, while we have this really interesting moment of car prices going up, customers finally pulling back and not purchasing, and ultimately manufacturers having to start to decrease the price points of some of their vehicles, we have the average age of vehicles on the road hitting an all-time high. The latest data from Polk, Dad. We're up to 14 and a half years old is the average age of U.S. cars on the road here in the United States. Just if you go back 20 years to 1995. 30 years. I'm 30 years old, not 20 years old. You go back 30 years. It was 8.4 years. Look at this chart, Dad. So what's happening here?
Okay, here's what's happening. They don't show it at the top of the chart, but as the chart keeps moving, okay, there will be a headline that says, Cuba, welcome to Havana. Okay, so you'll be able to get good cigars. Okay, and you'll be able to drive 30, 40, 50-year-old cars because nobody will be able to afford a new one. So
your commentary here is we're going to become turned into Cuba.
My commentary here is they left it off, but I'm telling you a little further up and to the right, it just says Cuba.
Are you concerned by this?
Concerned? What, are you kidding me? Yes. I mean,
especially as we see, I know we've harped on it ever since the news came out, but Wells Fargo now approving up to 150% for 72 months on auto loans. Imagine you're getting approved on, I don't know, a 14-and-a-half-year-old used car with bad credit.
We got a thing the other day where a woman bought, what was it, a 2018 Mazda?
2018,
and they financed her for 75 months.
I posted it on X. Let me pull it up.
Okay, so am I concerned? Absolutely. Not everybody is my brother, your Uncle Ken. And what do I mean by that? Okay, Uncle Ken has a 23-year-old, 24-year-old Ford. It's got like 34,000 miles on it. Not everybody is Uncle Ken. Most cars that are 14 and a half years old
have a lot of miles on them.
You're damn right they do. I mean, we know that the average miles today on used cars at the auction is like 75,000.
That's retail. That's the retail average mileage.
Okay.
Like the price point's like $28,000 or $29,000, and you've got over 70,000 miles on
it. So if that's not concerning, I don't know what is.
Here's that deal that you were talking about, just to pull it up on the screen. And this is why I get concerned about these things. I'll zoom in even more for everyone. You can see here, it's a 2018 Mazda 3.
Yes.
It's got 63,265 miles on it. And the loan here, I mean, the egregious part is the 29.99% interest rate.
Yes.
But it's also a 75-month car note. So if you think about an aging inventory, an aging fleet in the United States, the concern there is when someone's financed in this type of way, where in this case, they are financing they're financing $18,767, but they're paying back $23,000.
Yes. So they're paying back
more interest than
$5,000 more than what they were paying for the car, and the car originally started at 13 and change.
And then not like MSRP, but like the asking price from the dealer, but then they added fees and
they added mechanical breakdown protection.
But the reason I'm bringing it up in the context of an aging fleet is because what happens to this poor woman if and when her car has a mechanical failure, which, for those of you that are unfamiliar, this is something we're incredibly passionate about here at CarEdge. You go to research. You type in any vehicle over here. So let's do the Mazda, Dad.
It was a Mazda 3.
It was a Mazda 3. So give me a second. We got the Mazda 3, and it was a sedan. And what I want to look at here when I land on this page is I want to go to cost of ownership, and I want to click on maintenance.
Yes.
And now I can see a Mazda 3 will cost about $5,964 for maintenance and repairs during its first 10 years of service.
Yes.
What I want to look at is what's the likelihood of a major repair When we get out to year 11, it's 1 in 4 chance, 25% chance.
Well, and she bought it as a 7-year-old car.
So again, think about that. Like, aging fleet is very concerning.
Yes.
Take Cuba out of it for a second. It's just a lot of people getting approved for auto loans on overpriced used cars that are inevitably going to have mechanical issues when they're already so deeply upside down.
Yes, it's only going to make it worse. So when I see that the average age of the fleets on the road today are 14 and a half years, I, from having spent 43 years in retail automotive, understand that the vast majority of those vehicles are not going to be well maintained, that there's going to be issues, and that when they do break down, it will be a major repair that's going to be needed that most people will be unable to afford. So that's scary. To me, that's very scary. But the good news is we should be getting really good cigars in the future.
No, the good news is the bank will just keep approving you for that next auto loan. Got to keep the lights on, man. Got to keep the merry-go-round spinning.
Yeah. Welcome to Havana.
Welcome to Havana. Dad, earlier in the show from Matthew, appreciate it, Matthew. Regarding prices and TikTok comments, $85,000 American truck and SUVs are absurd. For a long time, a nice truck was half as nice as a new Porsche Boxster. Now almost the same. I think he means half the price.
Yes.
Now almost the same. Different cars, but metal equivalency doesn't compute. Mental equivalency, excuse me. Buyers ain't fooled. Yeah, I mean, we are seeing that video, by the way, that I posted about Ford has gone decently viral, Dad.
Yeah.
The one where I demonstrated and showed how Ford is struggling to sell these overpriced vehicles over on Instagram, a couple 100,000 views now. And the comments, again, if you were to read the comments on this video, pickup trucks for $90,000 after taxes, etc. Can't imagine why they aren't selling. Car manufacturers need to wake up. That has 1,637 likes.
Well, but only because it's true. You know, there's a large percentage of the population today that looks at it and just goes, "This is fantasy land." I know fantasy sports are big.
Fantasy sports are huge.
Oh yeah, but I didn't know that extended to the automobile industry. So that we are just living in a fantasy land that we can sell the requisite number of vehicles that need to be sold for manufacturers and dealers to be profitable to an ever shrinking customer base, because that chasm that we have spoken about over the years of the haves and the have-nots, that chasm has never been bigger. And we mentioned it yesterday, when people are using GoFundMe to raise enough money for groceries, if that is not a scary enough signal to understand that we are in an economic dilemma, that there are very few people that will be able to afford the things that they would like to have, and then the rest of us, it won't be Festivus for the rest of us. It'll be depression for the rest of us.
Well,
think about it. I mean, you're like a hamster on a wheel.
No, I think,
and you can't catch up, and you can't get ahead.
What's going to happen is the banks will just be more lenient on their lending standards. That's my
I get what you're saying.
October 16th, 2025. I'm betting the leniency on financing just gets more lenient.
I get what you're saying, but there's more and more people on that hamster wheel going, we're getting nowhere. We're getting exhausted, and we're getting nowhere. Yep. We're spinning our wheels, spending our energy, and getting nowhere. That's a recipe for economic disaster.
Yeah, let's come back to the chat. And
yes,
on the cars.
In my opinion, by the way.
Also, Matthew, thank you. Appreciate this. Also, Zach, lay off of the compression unless working out. Chemicals and polyesters in those ain't good for Ray's future grandkids.
Ooh, thank you, Matthew. Yeah.
Had a great workout this morning. Thank you, Matthew. From Ford Guy. Appreciate you looking out for me. Thank you, Ford Guy's videos. Appreciate this. No more Ford Escape and Lincoln Corsair after 2026. I didn't read that. Did you?
Wow. No, I wasn't aware.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I think we're going to see more and more consolidation of models as a result of some of the financial hardship that OEMs are going to feel because their very expensive vehicles aren't selling. That's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that, Ford guys. We've got here from Charles. Thank you so much, Charles. AI Negotiator has gotten dealers to a $34,000 out the door price on a 2026 Nightshade Prius. Invoice price is $32,871, MSRP of $35,312. Opinions includes the $899 doc fee. That sounds like a great deal.
Yeah, on a Prius. Yeah.
Damn. The AI Negotiator as part of CarEdge Pro. That's pretty nifty, man.
Yes, yes.
Congratulations, Charles. Take that deal, man.
It's like having me in your pocket.
Your what?
Your pocket. Pocket pop.
There we go. Go for it, Charles. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really, really awesome. I fully endorse you. You going for that.
Yeah.
Damn, that's really awesome to see.
It is. You know, what's awesome is the fact that these damn products sell and work.
Our products?
Yeah,
like
our products work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really incredible. Okay, that's what I had for today.
That's it?
That's it.
That's we didn't fill a half hour.
Yeah, that's all I had.
Okay, well then I don't have anything to rant about.
I gave you nothing to rant on today.
Do you want to? What do you think of how my
no
socks? No
one needs to see your ankles, Dad.
How my socks match everything that I'm wearing. I guess I have to get blue-soled desert boots in the future. But
show people how white your legs are, how pale your legs are. Sorry, I need to go adjust the camera.
That's a shade of white. But if you really wanted to see a shade of white that nobody see, my brother. Yeah, Uncle Kenny, because his legs haven't seen sunshine in, I don't know, he'll be 83 next month.
No one sees his ankles, but your legs are okay, Zach. What in the world?
Yeah. Well,
nice legs.
Yeah, but yeah, you actually have muscles on your legs. So.
All right, folks, that's a show for today. Again, we've got a brand new CarEdge.com. Please check it out. Really proud of the efforts of our team. So if we can assist you with anything, please go spend some time there. Congratulations again to everyone involved to make this happen.
And we'll be back tomorrow with CarEdge Live as opposed to On the Couch with CarEdge.
I'm back to Washington, D.C. this afternoon. I have a really fun interview tomorrow with WTOP, which is a big radio station in Washington, D.C. So super excited about that. Thanks to everyone who supports us to make moments like that happen. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to go film more content with my dad.
Thank you, everybody. See you back here, maybe not this much in my living room, but in my living room tomorrow.